If you're opening ChatGPT and asking it to give you content ideas, you're doing it backwards. And I get it. That's what everyone teaches. Give me 10 Instagram posts ideas for a business coach, or here are 10 hook ideas, something like that. Write me a carousel about productivity. And look, it feels like magic when you're first starting out, but here's what's actually happening. So AI is trained on everyone else's content. It's trained on basically all of the data that is freely available on the internet. So when you ask it to generate ideas for you, it's just remixing what already exists. And because it is a pattern predictor, it basically just predicts the most likely kind of content ideas based on all of that data that it has been trained on. So that's why everything kind of starts to sound the same. And that's why your content feels generic, even when you're using AI to help or you've trained AI. So today I'm going to teach you a different approach, and I call it the interview method, and it's going to completely change how you think about AI and content. So instead of asking AI to create ideas for you, you're going to build something that interviews you. So it pulls those ideas out of your brain. It helps you surface your experiences, your opinions, stuff from your actual life. And the result? Content that sounds like you because it came from you. So let's build this together. All right. So let's talk about why your AI content probably sounds a bit beige. So when you ask ChatGPT or Claude, whatever you're using, something like, give me content ideas for my service-based business, my VA, OBM consulting business, whatever it is, right? What it's doing, it's just drawing on patterns from its training data, which is basically the entire internet and everyone else's content and everyone else's ideas. So what you get back is a remix. And so that's like fine, but it's not you. And you would have noticed this in other people's content. Like it has very kind of predictable structure and patterns and things and phrases. And sometimes it'll spit out a phrase and you're like, oh, this is new. And then like a week later, you'll start to see that in like everyone's captions. That's because it's not you. So it's just like trying to do the best that it can do, but it doesn't have your stories, your opinions, your weird observations from that podcast that you listened to on your walk this morning. And so what I want you to understand is your audience doesn't want another generic post about 5 ways to be more productive or 5 hacks that you need. They want your take, your perspective, your voice. And this is so true in the age of AI 2026, as I've said in the last episode, is going to be the great pushback. So people are craving that human content and connection. They are looking for people who have a voice that they resonate with. So AI can't give you that if you're asking it to generate ideas from scratch, because it doesn't know how you think and it doesn't know what happened in your business this week, or, your kids like stressing you out and how that's affecting you. It doesn't know about that conversation that you had with a client that sparked an idea for something. So what we need to do is we need to flip the script. Instead of AI creating for you, we need AI pulling ideas out of you. So here's the concept of the interview method. So instead of opening up ChatGPT and saying like, give me a caption about X, and this is even if you've built a custom GPT with like your brand voice and everything in it, right? You build a custom GPT that asks you questions. So it interviews you. And from your answers, it pulls out content ideas that are based on your actual life, your work, your brain, your opinions, your voice. So here's how I use it. Monday morning, I'm on my hot girl walk on our little beach track out the front here. And I'll open up my GPT and it'll start asking me questions. So things like, what podcasts have you listened to this week? Any interesting client conversations? What's something you've noticed or observed recently? This could be related to what you're seeing on socials. What's frustrating you right now in your industry? What did you learn this week that surprised you? And I just talk like voice note style. So I just use the dictate function. You could also use the advanced voice mode where you have a conversation back and forth. And it's just a stream of consciousness. So I'm not trying to be clever. I'm just answering honestly. I'm brain dumping this stuff. Like I'm thinking about these questions and how I feel about things or what I've listened to or felt. Then the GPT takes all of that, my actual thoughts, experiences, observations, and pulls out content ideas. And because it knows my brand and my voice and my audience, because we've built that into the back of it, then frames them in a way that fits. So the result is content ideas that could only come from me. not generic or very overused phrases, actual stories, opinions, my lexicon, insights from my real life. And so that's the interview method. AI as an interviewer, not as a creator. Yes, it helps you finesse and massage that message afterwards, but you're not asking it to be the creator. Okay, so let's actually build this thing. So I'm going to walk you through via the podcast, the basics so you can set this up yourself. So first you need a ChatGPT Plus account so that you can create a custom GPT. Let me share my screen for those who are on YouTube and I will just verbally dump this for everyone else. All right, so you want to go into your ChatGPT account, and over the left, there's like this GPTs tab. Just hit explore and then hit create here, and this will take you to this create ChatGPT tab. So you can kind of DIY this with a save prompt if you don't have the paid version, but a custom GPT makes it way easier and things will start to fall off the context window using like a mega prompt. So that's why we would build this in a custom GPT or a project. So step one, we want to create a new GPT and we want to give it a name. So, all right. You can call this whatever you want, Monday morning interview, whatever works for you. Step two, you want to write the instructions. And this is the important bit. So here's the kind of thing that you want in there. So something like you, my content strategist who interviews me to pull out content ideas. Your job is not to generate ideas for me. It's to ask me questions about my week, my work, my observations, and then help me see the content angles in what I share. Start by asking me questions one at a time. Don't overwhelm me with a big list. Just one question, wait for my answer, then ask the next. And here are some question ideas that you can cycle through and feel free to change these. This is just like a broad example. So what podcasts, videos, or content have you consumed this week that sparks something? Any interesting client conversations or wins? What's something you've observed or noticed recently online or in real life? What's frustrating you about your industry right now? What did you learn this week? Is there anything you've been thinking about that you haven't talked about publicly yet? Things like that. After I've answered a few questions, suggest 3 to 5 content ideas based on what I've shared. These should be specific to my stories and opinions, not generic advice post. Step 3, you want to add your brand voice. So this is where you tell it how you speak. So for me, I'd add something like my brand voice is conversational, strategic, a bit cheeky. I swear sometimes. I use Australian spelling. I don't do corporate jargon or cringe. And also include here phrases that you would never use. So for things like me, that is like level up, boss babe. And you also want to include about your audience too. Like, who are you speaking to? So for me, I'm talking to founders who are smart but overwhelmed by AI. So you can pull this all from your brand voice guide if you have one, and you could upload that brand voice guide into the knowledge base here. You can do that. If you don't have that document, just describe how you naturally talk. So step 4, that's kind of, so the instructions go in here. So I'll just paste that in. Any knowledge that you want, so your brand voice and things like that. Capabilities for this one, web search is adequate. And then you would just hit create over here to save it. Sweet. Easy. And then you can actually go and use it. So this is the bit people skip. So they build the thing, then you need to create the ritual. Okay. So for me, this is Monday morning walk. So what's it going to be for you? Maybe it's Friday afternoon brain dance. Do you have a commute on your way to work? Can you open this thing? Is there 30 minutes that you can do this? You could do this daily if you wanted. You can add in more questions too. So like make this as kind of rich and complex as you want, or you can just keep it super simple too. That's it. That's the interview method GPT. It's simple to build, but the shift in how you're using AI, well, that is like, it's just flipping the script on probably how you've been approaching content creation with AI. Now, here's what I want you to notice about what we just did. So this isn't about the GPT. The GPT is cool, sure, but the real shift is in how you're thinking about AI. So most people think about AI as I need something done, I'll ask AI to do it for me. It's like this task doer, a tool. The interview method flips that to I have knowledge and ideas inside of me, and I'm going to use AI to pull them out and organize them for me to help me massage my content ideas. That's a completely different relationship with the tool. And once you start thinking this way, you're going to see opportunities for AI everywhere. So What if you had a GPT that interviewed you after every client call to pull out insights and patterns? I've literally built one, and clients who come to my Dream Team workshop have built one. It analyzes their sales calls. So if you are a service-based business owner, you are having sales calls, whether they're called that or not. Could be a discovery call, a clarity call, whatever you call it, that's a sales call. Drop that transcript into a GPT and it'll score you on, how did you handle their objections? Coach you on things that you could say next time those objections come up. What if you had one that asked you strategic questions about your business, like a mentor in your pocket? You could build an interactive lead magnet that interviews your potential clients and gives them personalized recommendations to your services. That's the kind of thing we do in my AI Dream Team workshop. So we don't just build random GPTs, we build tools that actually solve problems in your business that you get ROI on, that save you time and make you money, solving specific problems in your business. So the interview method is just one example. In the workshop, we also build things like a business strategist GPT that helps you think through decisions, interactive lead magnets that qualify and wow your potential clients, custom tools specific to your business and how you work, sales call GPTs like I talked about. But more than that, we go deep on actually understanding how AI works, not just copying prompts, but knowing why things work so you can build whatever you need. Because the GPT we built today, that's cool, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. When you understand the principles behind it, you can build anything. All right. You might be thinking, Brooke, I already use ChatGPT heaps. I'm in there every day. What am I actually going to learn? And I get it. If you're already using AI, it can feel like, what are you going to teach me? But here's what I've noticed. Even the power users, the people who are in ChatGPT every single day, come into my workshop and go, holy shit, I had no idea you could do this kind of stuff. Because what most people are doing is using AI like it. So you open it, you do a thing, you close it, and you're just scratching the surface. The interview method alone, most people have never thought about AI that way. And that's just one of the concepts and frameworks. I have many. When you actually understand how to build custom tools, when you get the strategy behind, when you see what's possible beyond just asking questions in a chat window, that's when things shift and that's when you'll really start to see ROI on AI. So if you're a power user who thinks you've got it figured out, I would gently challenge that because I can guarantee you there are things that you even realize that you could be doing in ChatGPT alone. So let me tell you about some of the people who have been through this training. I get to work with some seriously cool people in this workshop too. So I had one client who built a client-facing tool and she also built like 6 bots in a week, which is amazing. She's just like completely run with it. Another told me that she's saving like 10 hours a week now, not from working harder, but from like understanding how AI fits in her business. And now she's got like proper systems. So this stuff compounds. Like you build one thing, it saves you time. And then you've got space to think about, okay, what next? You can build stuff that really elevates your client experience. Build something that helps you bring in leads. So suddenly AI isn't just a thing you use, it's embedded in how your business runs. So if you want to go deeper and build tools that actually get ROI, the AI Dream Team is happening in February. So I've changed up the format a bit this year. So it's 2 sessions, 2 hours each with 3 days in between to implement. And then come back for that second session to kind of work through any challenges. And we also go into like agent and mind-blowing workflow stuff too. So you're not just learning, you're building. It's incredible. I will link it in the show notes so you can check that out below. But I would love for you to come and build your AI Dream Team with me. Okay, so confession time. And I feel like this is very well suited with the GPT. So I have like, you don't want to see my custom GPT sidebar. So I used to build these for clients too. There are like so many that are just sitting in my sidebar judging me. The interview method one is one of my favorites. But yeah, just don't judge me on how many GPTs I have there, please. What I have found too is if you make them super hyper specific, thinking about all of the data that chat has been trained on, hyper specific wins every single time because then it can like filter out and you're not getting like that beige kind of middle of the road predictions. So you're not another to do for this week. I want you to go build that interview method GPT that I walked you through. It'll take maybe 15 minutes and then I challenge you to actually use it. So what's the ritual around this? So are you going to open it on Monday morning on your walk, do the brain dump and see what comes out? Because the shift isn't building the tool. It's changing how you work with AI. So from asking it to do things for you to using it to, pull ideas out of you. One GPT, one brain dump, that's your homework. And please slide into my DMs on Instagram and tell me how you go. I would love to hear how you found this. That's the episode. If you found this useful, send it to someone who's stuck in give me 10 content ideas loop. So they need the interview method in their life. And if you want to go way deeper, build the tools that actually transform your business. As I said, join me on the next AI Dream Team workshop. It's in February. Link is in the show notes, and I will see you next time.